Okay, so how many of you all like to read? You all like to read?
I don't know how to read.
You don't know how to read yet? That's fine, because you're going to learn. Okay, so what types of things do you like to read about? Go ahead.
Christmas.
Christmas.
Love stories.
Love stories.
Animals.
Animals.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Action.
Action.
That's what I do too.
Okay, cool. Well, those are all really good topics to read about. One of my favorite things to read about is food. I love to eat, okay? So, my name is Rachel, and I'm here today to present to you 3 very special books that I think you're really going to enjoy. So, the 3 books all happen to do with cake. I love cake. So, do you all like cake?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, what are your favorite flavors of cake?
Red velvet.
Red velvet.
Chocolate.
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 Chocolate. Go ahead.
Strawberry.
Strawberry.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Cool. All right. Well, as we all know, there are all different types of cake. There's many, many different types of cake. And one of my favorite types of cake is hot cakes. Now, does anybody know what hot cakes are?
Pancakes.
Right, right. And if you didn't know what they were, I was going to give you a hint that you can eat them at breakfast time. You can put butter on top of them, syrup, and all kinds of fruits and things like that. So, pancakes leads me to my very first book that I want to talk to you about. This book is called In the Night Kitchen, and it was written by Maurice Sendak. Now, Maurice Sendak is an author. I don't know if you've heard, but his most popular book is probably Where the Wild Things Are. Have you ever heard of that book?
Yes.
Yes? Cool. All right, so in this book, In the Night Kitchen, this book is about a boy named Mickey, and he's in his house. He's all curled up in his pajamas in his bed. He's going to sleep. He's tired, and then something is happening downstairs. He hears a commotion downstairs. So he kind of gets up out of his sleep a little bit, but he's not all the way awake. And then he floats up into the air, and he's carried off into this dream world called the Night Kitchen. All right, so in this dream world, the Night Kitchen, there are these 3 bakers, these 3 men who are baking the cakes for the next morning. I like to think that they're pancakes that they're fixing. So, what they don't know is that Mickey falls into this big mixing bowl full of pancake batter. Do you all know what batter is?
Yes.
What's batter?
Stuff you use, the stuff you use that you gotta pour into the thing that shapes the cake.
Right, right. Do you have another answer?
In my word, a main ingredient.
What did you say? Say it a little louder.
A main ingredient.
Main ingredients. That's right. That's right. So batter is basically the thing you get when you mix up all the ingredients to make a cake. All right. But the bakers, the 3 bakers, don't know that Mickey is submerged in this mixing bowl full of batter. So they keep adding ingredients, stir them all up, and then they pick up the bowl and are headed off to the oven. Can you guess what happens next? Go ahead.
He bakes.
That's a good guess.
He gets out of the bowl.
He gets out of the bowl. Well, let's see. I'm going to share with you just a little bit of the part. So this is Mickey, and he falls down into the big mixing bowl. And here are the 3 bakers. All right, the bakers, we're the bakers who bake till the dawn so we can have cake in the morn. Mixed Mickey in batter, chanting, milk in the batter, stir it, scrape it, make it, bake it. And they put that batter up to bake a delicious Mickey cake. So Mickey is inside this bowl, but they don't know it. All right, so in order to find out what happens next, because we still don't know yet, you'll have to check out this book and read it. And you can find it at Forsyth County Public Library right here in Winston-Salem. So that brings me to the next thing I want to talk about. Does anybody know what this is?
A whip.
A what?
A whisk.
A whisk. Right, a whisk. So basically a whisk is used to mix up ingredients to make a cake. You put them all in a bowl and then you whisk it around just like this. You whisk it and mix it all up. What kinds of things can you think of you would use to make a cake? Can anybody guess?
spoon.
A spoon.
Lemons.
Lemons, okay.
Strawberries.
Strawberries.
A bowl.
A bowl. You definitely need a bowl.
And milk.
Milk.
Yeah,
That's a good guess.
Sugar.
Sugar, yes.
Flour.
Flour. Good, good. So I want you to think about all of those things as I tell you about my next book that I want to talk to you about. This next book is called Benny Bakes a Cake, and it's by Eve Rice. So in this book, the main character is named Benny, and it's his birthday, and he wants to have the best birthday ever, okay? So he wakes up, and he gets hugs and kisses from all his family, including some love from his dog. He has a dog named Ralph, okay? So he goes in the kitchen with his mom and says, "Mom, I really want to help make a birthday cake for me." So they get together and they mix up all those types of ingredients, the ingredients we were talking about, the flour, the eggs, the sugar, all those things in a bowl. They combine all the ingredients. And the dog, Ralph, he pays attention to them while they're doing all this work in the kitchen. So they stir the ingredients up, they pour the batter, they bake the cake in the oven, they take it out and let it cool off, and then they mix a frosting and they spread the frosting all over the cake. And while they're waiting for the cake, while they're waiting for their family and friends to come for the birthday party, they decided they want to take Ralph, the dog, out to walk. So they look all around the kitchen. They're like, "We can't find Ralph." Can anybody guess where Ralph is?
In the cake.
In the cake. That's a good guess.
Under the table.
Under the table. Anybody else? Can anybody think of what Ralph might be doing?
Oh, playing.
Playing.
Licking the bowl.
Licking the bowl.
Drinking the toilet water.
Drinking what? Drinking the toilet water.
He must have ran to the bathroom. Sorry.
He might have ran to the bathroom. That's a good guess. Those are all really good guesses. So in order to find out what happens next with Ralph, you'll have to check out this book. Once again, it's called Benny Bakes a Cake, and it's by Eve Rice, and it's also located at Forsyth County Public Library for you. Okay, so that lets me move on. Okay, so raise your hand if you have a little brother or a little sister. You have a little brother or a little sister? Okay, raise your hand if you have an older brother or older sister. Okay, just about everyone. Okay, well, I know that I have an older brother and an older sister, and I always get bossed around. Do any of you get bossed around by your older sisters? Yeah, you do? Yeah, so that brings me to my next book, the last book that I want to tell you about today. And that book is called Bunny Cakes.
I read that book.
Some of you are familiar with this book.
Because next I made a dirt cake.
Right.
Small.
So Bunny Cakes is by a lady named Rosemary Wells, and you might be familiar with either this book or the characters in the book. The characters in the book are Max and Ruby from the show on Nickelodeon.
Max
and Ruby, that's right. So in this book, Ruby is the older sister, Max is the younger brother, and their grandmother is celebrating a birthday. So they want to get together and bake her a cake. Now, of course, Max is the little brother. He loves playing outside. He loves dirt and worms and bugs. So he says, "I want to make a dirt cake full of worms and dirt and just nasty things." But then Ruby says, "No, we want to make an angel surprise cake with raspberry fluff icing. Really, really pretty, really, really tasty." So usually as things happen, the oldest person wins. So that's kind of the case in this book. Ruby gets all the ingredients together. She gets some of those ingredients we were talking about earlier, the sugar and the flour, the butter, the eggs, the milk, and she gets them all together. And then she tells Max, "Don't touch anything." Can you guess what Max does next?
Touch stuff.
He touches stuff, of course. So Max touches everything. He gets in the kitchen with Ruby and he knocks over the eggs. Well, after that happens, Ruby sends Max to the store so he can get some more eggs. So he goes to the store to get more eggs. He comes back and Ruby says, "Don't touch anything." Can you guess what he does again?
He touches it anyway.
He touches it anyway.
With the flour.
He spills the milk next. So then Ruby tells him, okay, Max, please go to the store, get some more milk. So Max goes to the store, he gets more milk, he comes back. Ruby says, don't cross this line. She draws a line in between the living room and the kitchen and says, don't cross this line to come into the kitchen. Can you guess what Max does? What does he do?
Crosses the line.
Of course, he crosses the line. That's right. He spills the flour and spills other ingredients. Can you guess what happens next? Go ahead.
He sends him to the store to get more flour.
She could send him to the store to get more things. Anybody else want to guess?
She sends him outside.
She sends him outside. That's a really good guess.
I got another
Who thinks that between the two of them that Ruby will win and that Ruby will get to bake this pretty delicious cake for the grandmother? 2 people? 3 people? Now who thinks Max will get to win and bake a mud cake full of earthworms?
They both.
Those are really good guesses. In order to find out what exactly happens, you'll have to check out this book and read the book. And it's called Bunny Cakes, and it's by Rosemary Wells. All right, so can you tell me what all 3 of these books have in common? Shout it out if you can. Food. That's right. All 3 of these books are about baking. All 3 of these books are about cakes. And all 3 of these books are about mixing things together in a kitchen and coming up with a result. So that gave me some inspiration. And I got in my kitchen and I put some ingredients together and I made some cupcakes for you all because you're such great listeners. So I wanted to thank you for listening to me. And that's it. Let's go enjoy some cupcakes.